Morning. Good morning. I hope you are all well. I'm just going to pause this just for a second, just so that, there we go. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this Monday morning in January. It's good to be back in the collective. I will be putting up a sort of plan for the rest of the year quite soon, so that's exciting. I'm just pulling together a few different guest speakers for you. But the reason why we're here today is to talk about our 11 Australia education, which I'm really excited about. 11 has been sort of, as you know, is quite a young brand. I mean, this is our 12th year. It's a bit shame that we're at the 11th, but this is our 12th year. So relatively speaking, we are a new brand. So the my light's just gone. The education that's coming through is starting to get really quite exciting. I mean, we've got some really big new things to talk to you about this year. So no further ado, I will share my screen and hopefully get up the right thing. Bear with me. It's a Monday and you won't believe what's already gone wrong this morning. That's another story to tell. Quite a fun story. Make sure I've got the right one up. Yes. Okay. Right. So come on, where's my mouse gone? Okay, here we go. Share. Can you see my screen? Will someone give me a little thumbs up or let me know? If not, we are just staring at me. You see my screen, anybody? There's a chat just gone up. Yes, thanks, Jay. Right, okay. So this is the 11 Australia Education Book 2024. So first of all, it's just a bit of a welcome from me, just to share with you what the education's looking like for 2024. And as I say, 11 Australia is quite a new brand, but we do want to do everything we do, we want to do it with a fresh, new, young approach. So expect some new additions this year. So first of all, I want to talk about something brand new to Wonderful Brands. This year, we are doing education vouchers like we've done last year. So education vouchers, if you didn't know what they are, education vouchers we give for every £1,000 you spend, you will receive a voucher at the end of every quarter. So it's 10% of your spend. Okay, and these, you can accumulate these during the year, you can save them up, you can spend them on education, any education that you want to spend them on. So whether that's an event or whether that is off one of the courses that are in this book, you can do any of those. Now this year we've actually changed that as well to make this a Wonderful Brands education voucher. Previously it was a 11 Australia education voucher only, but this includes any 11 and yellow professional. So if you use any of our colour within our Wonderful Brands portfolio, you are able to collect those vouchers. Now these are just for colour and technical products. This does not include your retail products. So any colour products, so whether that's Demi Permanent, porosity equalizer spray, colour lock spray, barrier cream, or in yellow professional, if you use that as well, that is within our Tone on Tone Creator. Any of our products within there, with it, that's our colours, our peroxides, our developers, etc. So this is something brand new for us. So just to recap simply, this is a Wonderful Brands education voucher and not just an 11 Australia voucher. So you get 10% of your every £1,000 that you spend within Wonderful Brands on your technical products. Now this is in the book, so you can have a little read through it and get your heads around that better, but obviously speak to your account manager and they can go into that a little bit more as well. Okay, so heading straight into 11 Australia. a welcome from our creative directors and co-founders, Joey Scandizo and Andrew O'Toole, which I'm really excited that we'll be seeing a lot more of these guys over this year in the UK. So meet the team. Big team now, which I'm really excited for. So on the first page, we've got our internationals. So we've got the lovely Connor James Doyle, who's from Ireland, who we've been over a couple of times last year. We've got Paul Dennison, who's from Cardiff, not quite international, but it's Wales. And he is part of the colour team. We've got our very own Katie Groves, which we're super proud of Katie. Katie's now on the European team and she's teaching colour, both for us in the UK, but also over in many other countries. We have Rachel Vitulio, who is from Australia, who works in the Joey Scandizzo salon, and she is a colour director over there. We have Jamie Lee. I don't know if you follow Jamie Lee on social media, but she's an absolute darling, and she's also in Australia, and her colour work and her Instagram is just really beautiful. Then we've got Nicholas, I think you say it Reeves, I don't know, is from Scandinavia. I'll give that a best go. And he's going to be one of our colour specialists. Heading over to our team this year, I've put on a little bit more detail about who they do. And yes, Rachel, this is being recorded. And also sort of what they teach as well. So we've got Katie, Ben, and the lovely Annabelle that's just fresh back from Australia. Annabelle has been working over in Australia for the last year. So Annabelle's going to be bringing back what she's learned over in Australia, some of those beautiful lived-in placements. And she's back on the team teaching colour, cut and styling. We have Jay Boot, who's also on this live. Hey, Jay. So Jay was going to be doing colour, is focused on, and he's got a brand new course as well, which I'm going to share with you. Kelly, Emmy, Charlotte, Amy, Tom, Emma and Josh. So we've got a full coverage within the UK. And as I said, everyone's got their specialities that are all on there. Okay, moving on to Sydney to Shoreditch. Now we've sold half of the tickets for this already. So if you haven't got your ticket, make sure you grab one now. This is an absolute bargain price of £200. The reason why it's a bargain price, one, you get your money back in your goodie bag with the £200. Two, it's a great day out. It's a really, really good motivational day out. So if you and your team are looking for something to get you excited about, this is definitely it. And three, we've got two of our icons that are going to be there, which for the first time we have Joey Scandizzo and Andrew O'Toole. So I'll quickly run you through the day, super quick. In the morning, we have Katie Groves, Paul Dennison and Melvin Royce Lane. And they are going to be doing colour, and they're going to be sort of talking about placements and sort of what's new for 2024 around trends. Then in the afternoon, after we break for lunch, you get your breakfast and your lunch, by the way. After your lunch, we've then got the two main men themselves of 11 Australia. So Joey is going to be doing a cut and style, and then Andrew is going to shoot this. So you're going to get to see what actually happens behind the scenes while we create these beautiful campaign imagery. If you don't know Andrew O'Toole, he is a world-renowned photographer. I've had the pleasure of shooting with him many times, and he is just incredible how he pulls these images together. So you're going to get to see colour, you're going to get to see cut, you're going to get to see two of 11 Australia icons. And it's based in London this time. So we've got Sydney to Shoreditch. And as I said, it's £200, absolute bargain. So half of those tickets have gone. There's 100 tickets. We are on 54, I think, something like that. So if you haven't got your ticket, make sure you get one. You don't want to miss this one. Okay, this is the biggest one for us. We have something brand new for 11 Australia, and we have a colour certification. This is something that we've been working on for quite some time, and I went out with Katie in November to go and get our certification. So Katie and I are the first people in the UK to be qualified for this. So if you would like to be on the first class and get your certification, listen to this, because we have only 2 places available. I launched this to the sales team on Friday morning, I think it was, and they were literally on their phones like, oh my God, we've got to get this out. So if you are thinking about this, you need to make sure that you get yourself on this really quickly. So there are bronze, silver and bronze, silver and gold. So bronze, this is or more or less your fundamentals within here. So you get to work with the colour, get deeper understanding of the colour. Byron silver, this is where we get a bit more exciting and we start talking about colour corrections and placements. And then finally we've got Uluru gold. Uluru, if you don't know what Uluru is, it's that big red rock in the middle of Australia, and that one is going to be coming in the autumn. So this is going to be in Birmingham. The reason why we've done the Midlands is because we wanted it to be more or less accessible to everybody. Nowhere's perfect, but we thought stick a pin in the middle of the country and we'll try Birmingham to start off with. It's 8 sessions, so there's 5 face-to-face and 3 virtual within there. So the 3 virtual are within the bronze, where they're just to get to know the colour, make sure that everyone's knowledge is where it needs to be before we then move on to our next levels. So the cost of this is, for your bronze and your silver, is £1,000 plus VAT. So that is for 5 face-to-face classes and 3 virtuals. Okay, I'm going to run through what they look like really quickly. Your get-to-knows are, you get to know your permanent colour, your demi-permanent and your lightness. So these are the 3 virtual sessions. Next, we then move on to your colours and lightness, our signature colour. And then moving on to silver, we go on to colour correction, patterns and techniques, and then hair colour science. Now, I did this over 4 days, and it was 4 very, very, very intense back-to-back days in Copenhagen. And Katie and I were literally, we couldn't even speak to one another at night. We would normally like, we'll go for some drinks, we'll go and do this. And we had pizza and went to bed. We were just so tired. It was just such an amazing experience. So we've separated this out to once a month. So allow you to be able to digest this, think about it. There's going to be some workshops that go with this as well. So just so you can get the most from it. The classes are starting in March. So we've got our virtuals in March. Then our face-to-face also starts in March as well. March, April, May, beginning of July and end of July. That's our bronze and silver. I cannot recommend this enough. If I so wish I'd have had this years ago. It is the 11 Australia twist on a master's certification. We have real things that you can take back into salon that you can use, where I feel like sometimes I could be bombarded with a bit of stuff and I'm like, I'm never going to use this again, where I promise you everything that you'll be doing, you can use those techniques, you can use those placements, you can use the theory, and you can help your team as well with some of this stuff when you go back into salon. So, as I said, we've only got 2 places available to this, which is fantastic. I've been so happy over the weekend where people go, yeah, I'll book on. If you want to find out a little bit more, or you want to have a chat with me, I'm available. You can email me, scan that little QR code there. I'm going to put this book into the group afterwards, so you've got all the information in there. But if you want to have a chat with me and find out a little bit more, you know, you can always contact me. Okay, moving on, we haven't finished with colour. So that's the master certification that I've just talked about. These we've also got our in-salon classes as per normal, like what we normally do. So we've got our portfolio colour. This is really for somebody that is brand new to 11 Australia. This is the class that we do when people first take on the brand. So you get to know our permanent, our demi and our lightness within here. But this is available to book as well. Then we've also got our white hair coverage and backwash balayage. I think this is a really interesting class, because white hair coverage, I think, is not just that blanket coverage anymore. There are many options that people want. Sometimes we've got people that perhaps don't want to be committed to having every 4 to 6 weeks having a colour on the hair. So we look at all the different options, from blending to coverage to intense. But also, I think what's exciting about this class is that we talk about the business opportunities within here as well. So again, being really honest, Mrs. Smith, who has her colour done, she could go and buy a box dye and she could get her colour done. We know that that's going to look dense and flat, and over time that colour's going to build up and she's going to hate it and it's just not right for her, and she's not adapting to the different tones throughout the year. Whereas that's our job, is to make those little tweaks to the colour, make sure that in the summer perhaps she's a little bit more golden, and in the winter perhaps she's a bit warmer, a bit more chocolatey. But what we also do within this class is teach you how to do the backwash balayage to enable you to be able to change those tones seasonally. So the backwash balayage is a really exciting class where we sort of like look at placements, we look at sort of like tonal varieties within there as well. So I honestly can't recommend this one enough to get your team thinking about what else they could do with white hair coverage that's not just the same again, the same again, the same again, 5N, 5N, 5N. So yeah, that's one of my favorite classes actually. Next one is Colour Intermix. We've been running Colour Intermix for a couple of years now. So it's a great class because it allows people that are a little bit more curious about making different tones to be able to do this like in a different level. So more pink tones. I want to learn how to do pinks. I want to learn how to do beige tones. I've just seen a message come up and we have got one place left for the masters, which has just made me smile. So there's obviously an account manager watching this going, God, you've got to get this. So Colour Intermix, you get a really nice 11 Australia book. I'm just going to reach and grab mine just so I can show you. So this is the 11 Australia book that you get. And inside here, oh, this is one that I've already done, which is good. Inside here, you get all of these swatches, and when you first get them, they are they're plain. I've already started this one as well. You can tell I've been playing, but you've got like gold swatches, and you've also got really light swatches, like a pale 9 as well. And you can kind of like look at doing different ashes or beiges, and just make your own seasonal color palette, and under the guidance of your educator. So, and you get to keep this really nice book, which I think looks really good. So that's your Colour Intermix class. And then brand new, we have Social to Salon. So Jay, who is on this class today even, Jay has, he's so good at social media. When he posts stuff, I always like, wow, that's amazing. What was your formula? It's really like these blondes really pop, and he just manages to capture his clients really, really well. I know sometimes you look at some of your, this sounds really awful, but sometimes not every client is Instagrammable, which is, it's the reality of the world. And I often look at some people on Instagram and go, how do you find all of these clients that are just absolutely like, they just look so gorgeous? How are you doing that? And yeah, there are some people there that are, you know, really beautiful, really comfortable in front of the camera, but not everybody is. And I think the way Jay captures some of his clients, I think is really interesting. So he'll take you through how to make those blondes really pop, how to get the, you know, trust the process on the toners. That's something that one of his good mantras is like, trust the process. You've got to know your colors. You've got to know your color wheel. You've got to know what you're neutralizing and what you're trying to enhance. And then you can then make your colors pop. So we'll take you through his approach to how he colours. He specialises in blondes, but he also does coppers and browns and different colours. And then he will give you guidance of how to capture those moments. So if you are wanting to up your game in social media, and we did, I don't know if any of you guys took part in our Wonderful Brands questionnaire this year. One of the key things that came out of this is most salons want to up their social media. So what you put out on your social media is really the clients that you get back into your chair. So learning about that, and Jay will teach you how to capture those social media moments with your clients. Maybe your client's a little bit shy, maybe she's not that Instagrammable girl, but Jay will guide you through how to capture those moments. So that's an exciting class, brand new for 2024. Then moving on to cutting. So we've got 2 cutting classes for this year. We've got Cutting 101. Now this is going to be our always on content. Cutting 101 is for people that perhaps are maybe, how should I put it, not confident with cutting. Maybe there is a younger generation that's coming through that haven't perhaps gone through those kind of short pixie haircuts, because the trends over the last sort of like 5, 6, 7 years have been very much sort of like one length with a few layers. And being honest, not being in the salon myself now, I would really sort of like, oh, you know, I feel like I could benefit from going a class like this, even though I've been hairdressing for all of that time. It just gives you that kind of like sharpness on your bobs, rethinking about it, and then looking at shorter haircuts as well. It just gives you that kind of like boost that you need. This is also would be great for people that are perhaps sort of like newly qualified in the next like few years, that have not really had that much experience, to give them a bit of a boost as well. Then we're going on to trends and techniques. So this one's been designed by Joey Scandizzo, and this one is all about sort of like new versions of techniques and trends. So you'll remember in our last education, which was the Undertone collection, that one was based like on the Heims, where we had like this short kind of stepped disconnections going through the hair. This one again is more about trends and how you're seeing those come into salon. So 2 really good cutting classes. They're both done in your salon. So they are available from March. Ben Knott, who is one of our educators, is going over to Copenhagen to learn these techniques in February, and we're launching with them in March. So if you're thinking about maybe looking at some cutting classes, have a chat with us and we can go into a little bit more detail about which one would be right for you or your salon. And then finally, we've got our styling and techniques. So styling 101 is exactly the same as cutting 101. This is your basics. So we're looking at blow drying, we're looking at using tongs, we're looking at using flat irons, how to create looks, and just really the fundamentals. So it is about learning how to create sustainable, wherever that word come from, long-lasting blow dries, for instance, that will give your clients longevity of their look. And then the styling trends and techniques. This one is a couple of the looks that you can see on there. So there's one hair down, partial hair up, and one full up as well. So just looking at wearable styles. That's what I love about these. They are absolutely wearable. Nothing about these are sort of like, oh, I'm never going to be able to use these. They are absolutely looks that you can use in your salon straight away. What is Jay on Insta, please, so I can follow? Off the top of my head, and I'm sure he'll type it in for us, I think he is Jay at Salon B. He's going to type it in for us, I'm sure he will. But if not, I will put it up. There you go, Jay _ Salon B. Got it. Okay, right. So lastly, product knowledge. So if you are an 11 Australia stockist, which you all are because you're in the collective, I just wanted to make sure that you know that you could have a product knowledge class free of charge within your salon, and this is delivered to you via your account manager. So your account manager will go through all of the products, they'll talk about key benefits, but they'll talk about where and why and how to use them. So it's a great little sort of like refresher. Maybe you've had 11 Australia for a few years and you feel like you've needed a bit of a refresh. This is really great for that. It's good as a retail boost as well. So one of the other things that came out of our survey, our questionnaire, was that people want to up their game with retail to make more money. And absolutely. Once you get excited about a product and all you have to do is talk about it, give your client a few of the key benefits, then you're making some more money on your bill when they're walking out the door. So have a word with your account manager. That is 1 hour session. It's free of charge and it's in your salon. And then finally, the collective, you guys are already in here. So this is just really to sort of like share what we've been doing and to obviously make sure we've got all of our best accounts in here. Okay, so that is us done. So has anybody got any questions that, let me make sure I have a quick look, one in the chat. Found him, good, Rachel. Amazing. All right, well, look, I'm going to finish this and just say thank you. Jay says he's tired just thinking about how busy this year is going to be. Welcome to my world. But I am super excited for this year. I think 11 Australia has got some really exciting things. So if you haven't booked your ticket for the Sydney to Shoreditch, please make sure you book that. We've sold over half of the tickets and I don't want you to be disappointed. We've only got one place left. I know who it is now. So Zoe, congratulations on getting your place today. It's super exciting and we're glad to have you on the class. So thank you very much and have a great 2024 if I don't speak to you before. I didn't even say Happy New Year. That feels like such a long time ago, but I will look forward to seeing you all very soon. Take care. Bye.